Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of the Trivia 10. Today we have Anthony from the Raiders of the Lost podcast with big shoes to step in because you're kicking off the brand new season.
I'm happy to be here.
Happy to have you on. Wish we could have got you on Season 1, but we're going to get you and hopefully your brother also at some point in Season 2 as well.
I just have to beat him.
Yeah, I'd imagine the rivalry is going to be pretty bitter between you two, and there's going to be bragging rights on the line. Of course, Trivia 10, every episode is going to be coming out Tuesdays and Fridays, so we're going twice a week. And if we look back to Season 1, which you just wrapped up, you can see we had 10 contestants. We had 5 people total make the playoffs. Doug and Alex had that wild card battle to get into the final playoffs. This is how the end leaderboard of Season 1 ended up looking. And, of course, that rolled into the playoffs, which Doug took, the New York Giants versus Patriots type run, going from the wild card all the way to winning the championship and being the Season 1 champion of the Trivia 10. But things are going to look a little different in Season 2. Because we're doing 20 contestants in this regular season. You're going to see new faces like Anthony today. You're going to see old faces return from Season 1 who are looking for redemption. And it's the month of March right now. So in the spirit of March Madness, we're getting the Sweet 16. 16 people are going to be going to the playoffs. So 4 people are going to be below the cut line. So that means, Anthony, you're for sure going to be in playoff position no matter what your points are today as of right now. Hopefully, as the weeks go by, it doesn't keep pushing you down to get to that below that red line. 20 contestants this season. Questions are also going to look a little bit different than last season. Some's going to be the same. Some's going to be new. Trying to always innovate here. But are you ready to do this thing? Let's go ahead and dive right in.
Let's go, man.
All right. Question 1 is going to be multiple choice. So which of these film scores were not composed by Hans Zimmer? And your 4 choices are The Boss Baby, X-Men: The First Class, Army of Thieves, and The Holiday. So which one was not composed by Hans Zimmer?
I'm going to go B, X-Men: First Class. I believe that was Henry Jackman.
You are correct. Hans Zimmer, however, did score Dark Phoenix, but he did not score X-Men: First Class. But yeah, Hans Zimmer, of course, if you look through his composing filmography, there's a lot of ones in there that if you're not well-versed, there's a lot of random ones thrown in there for sure. But 5 points, already on the winning streak right now with question 1 being correct. Next question is going to be another multiple choice for 5 points. There's a total to get 150 points total in the quiz today, so we're starting off with 2 5-point multiple choice. Which David Fincher film made the most money at the global box office? Was it Gone Girl, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Seven, or The Social Network?
I'm going to go with The Social Network.
The Social Network is incorrect. Gone Girl is the correct answer. Gone Girl and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button were pretty close, but then those are, 4 of his highest grossing. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo is also up there. A lot of his films don't make a whole lot of money, but those 4 plus The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo were definitely solid money makers at the box office. Moving on to question 3, though, we are no longer in the land of multiple choice. For 10 points, John Cazale starred in 3 films directed by Francis Ford Coppola, 2, of course, being The Godfather Part 1 and 2. What is the 3rd film John Cazale starred in directed by Francis Ford Coppola?
What is The Conversation?
Back on a winning streak. There we go. Of course, he only had 5 films in his filmography, 3 of them being directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and then we had Sidney Lumet's Dog Day Afternoon. And the other one I'm blanking on right now. 5 films, all great. All were Best Picture nominees. All were widely nominated for Oscars. But of course, The Conversation is correct. 10 points headed your way. So you're at 15 going into question 4 now.
Number 5 was Deer Hunter, by the way.
Deer Hunter, thank you. There we go. See, you got a film ball knower on the other side here helping me out. So question 4, Margot Robbie burst into mega stardom in The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013, but she also starred in this film with the same 4.0 rating on Letterboxd earlier that same year.
2013, Margot Robbie. I'm going to go with, good question. Focus.
Focus would be a good guess. It was around that time, but that is incorrect. The right answer is About Time. Time. 4.0 on Letterboxd, just a couple months before The Wolf of Wall Street. Neither of those were her debut. I'd say those were her 2 big movie debuts, but her actual debut was Vigilante, and then she had another film a couple years later that both on IMDb are in the 2s for the average rating. So probably not one anyone here needs to be checking out. But About Time was just a couple months before The Wolf of Wall Street. So we got 2 right, we got 2 wrong. Heading into question number 5 now, another 10-pointer. Greg Fraser won his first Oscar for Dune in 2022, but for what film did he receive his first and only other Oscar nomination for Best Cinematography?
Greg Fraser, Oscar nomination. I'm going to go with Rogue One.
Rogue One was something I thought he should have been Oscar nominated for, but he was not. It was actually for Lion in 2016. It was his
Oh,
only other Oscar nomination. I'm pretty confident we're going to be seeing his third Oscar nomination here coming next year for Dune Part 2, but we'll have to see. I'd say he's a strong favorite to be getting that nomination though here. So we're done now with the generic trivia questions. Now we're going to go into a little bit of different flavor of questions. You have 15 points so far, but there's still 110 points up for grabs. So we have a long ways to go here with the final half of this quiz. Question number 6 is a matching game, box office edition. So what you're going to see is 3 films and 3 production budgets and box offices for films that are listed here, but you're going to have to say which one corresponds to which. So it'll make a little more sense here. So you have The Prestige, Brokeback Mountain, and There Will Be Blood. And you got a budget of 25 million and 76 million at the box office. 40 million production budget for a 109 million box office return, then a 14 million production budget for a $178 million box office return. So you have to tell me 1, 2, and 3, which one corresponds to The Prestige, Brokeback Mountain, There Will Be Blood. You'll get 5 points for each match you get correct. Take as much time as you need to think through it.
There Will Be Blood is number 1, Prestige is number 2, and Brokeback is number 3.
15 points. Perfect. You didn't even need much time to think about that at all. That was just easy off the rip. Got it right away. Incredible work. So now you're up to 30 points, and you're going to have another matching game here. A little bit of a different flavor, though. Rotten Tomatoes edition. So you got the critic score, the audience score. You have to tell me which movie corresponds to what. So you have Manchester by the Sea, The Holdovers, and The Hateful Eight. And you see a 96 critics, 78 audience, a 75 critics, 77 audience, and a 97 critics, 92 audience.
Okay, I'm going to go with Holdovers is number 3. And then I'll go Manchester number 1, Hateful Eight number 2.
Well, you just flew right through these matching quiz questions. You got another perfect score on this one. So really
Nice.
You can either, since there's only 3 to choose from, you're either going to get none right, 1 right, or 3 right. Can't really get 2 right without getting that third. But you got 3 right on both of these. Momentum strong. You got 45 points now at this point, heading into question 8. So we got 3 questions left. Question number 8 now, there's going to be 2 correct answers I'm looking for. So if you get one of them right, 10 points. Get both of them right, you get all 20 points. And then, of course, 0 points if you can't get either of them. Martin Scorsese has 2 films tied for the most Oscar wins in his filmography. Name those 2 films. So, of course, going around Twitter ever since Killers of the Flower Moon got nothing, we know there's plenty of films Martin Scorsese has gotten plenty of nominations for that haven't won anything, but he has for sure had films won Oscars in the past, plenty of them. Which 2 films are tied for the most Oscar wins in his filmography?
I'm going to go with The Departed. And then I'm going to go with, for Oscar wins, I'll go with Raging Bull.
Those are actually both going to be incorrect. The Departed is close at 4, but the 2 with 5 were The Aviator and Hugo. So The Aviator and Hugo are big winners. Raging Bull also picked up a couple, but then there's films like Gangs of New York, Killers of the Flower Moon, The Irishman that all just get completely snubbed across the board and haven't won anything. But The Aviator and Hugo are tied for 5 wins each. So we are now going into question number 9, which is going to be also a little different for what the regular season has seen in the past. It's called Ride the Bus. So how this is going to work is I'm going to show you a movie and I'm going to tell you what the average Letterboxd score is. And that movie is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 with a score of 4.0 on Letterboxd. And now the next film I'm going to show you here, Call Me By Your Name. Does this have a higher or a lower Letterboxd rating than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? If you get this right, we're going to move on. There's 4 total, so you can get 5 points each one you get right for up to 20. Or if you get wrong right away, 0 points and we're done with the question. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is a 4.0. Call Me By Your Name, is it a higher or lower average Letterboxd rating?
Higher.
That's a tricky one. I'm surprised by that too. I'm
That's
really
sad.
surprised by that. Yeah, Call Me By Your Name at a 3.9 is disappointing for sure. The next one would have been La La Land, which of course is higher than The Batman, which is just barely lower, and then American Psycho, which I honestly thought could have been higher than The Batman as well, but that ended up being lower than The Batman. So 0 points for number 9 for you. You're at 45 going into question number 10. And again, this is the thing with season 2, episode 1. We have no clue if your score right now is strong, if it's weak. We'll have to see as the season plays out. But you're at 45 points, and you can't really compare to season 1 as well because these are all way different questions and different overall total points. The final question, which we are bringing back from question 1 or season 1, is guess the cast. So one by one, cast members are going to be revealed for a movie, random movie I'm thinking of in my head. 40 possible points. The last season was 50 with 5 cast members revealed. This season, it's only going to be 4 cast members revealed with a 40-point possible. So first cast member we're going to be revealing for this, David Dastmalchian.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can guess it right now, you get one guess. If you get it right, 40 points headed your way. If you get it wrong, no harm, no foul. We're going to reveal the next cast member, and then you're getting an opportunity for 30 points. We're going to keep running that down until we get to all 4 shown. So David Dastmalchian, you can just pick anything in his filmography and get it off the rip. 40 points headed your way.
All right. What would you have put in? Maybe something not too easy. I'm going to go with The Suicide Squad.
The Suicide Squad is incorrect. The next cast member we're going to be revealing for 30 points, Mackenzie Davis.
Of
course, last season on the Trivia 10, we saw people getting these super early. So season 2, I'm, pulling out all the stops. I'm heating things up a bit. I'm not going to hopefully get as many people getting them super early this time.
I'm going to go with, for them to, Terminator Salvation.
Terminator Salvation is incorrect. The next cast member we're going to be revealing for 20 points, Jared Leto.
Oh, what are they in together? Mackenzie Davis.
Take as much time as you
need. Oh my God, it's Blade Runner 2049.
Blade Runner 2049 is correct. Ana de Armas would have been the final one for 10 points. So you're getting 20 points for Blade Runner 2049. And again, like last season, feel like we had a little more obvious cast members right away, but you got it right on Jared Leto. Obviously of the 4 here, neither of them are Harrison Ford or Ryan Gosling. And David Bautista was another one I was thinking of putting in there, but I feel like his filmography is so thin that might give it away a little earlier. David Dastmalchian, of course, is just kind of the GOAT for this question because he's just a small supporting role in so many things and always leaves such a big impact. So it's just great to use him in here because he could really go any direction. Blade Runner 2049 is the correct answer for this question. You get 20 points. So that means your final score today is going to be 65. Now, again, like I said, I have no idea if there's going to be a good score, a low score, high score, what it's going to be. We're going to see as the season goes on. But of course, 16 people are making the playoffs this season, so only 4 people are going to unfortunately be under that cut line. But we have 15 more episodes to go before we find out who's going to be the first one pushed under there. But Anthony, I thought you did great. You nailed both matching game questions. You got Hans Zimmer without even a blink. I think overall it's going to be a strong score for you for sure. So we'll have to see how it ends up panning out for the playoff push. But thank you so much for being the first contestant on season 2. Like we talked about earlier, we're going to get your brother on here, see who's going to be the GOAT of the Raiders of the Lost podcast. Who's going to be the best between you two at the Trivia 10. But yeah, of course, if you've listened to the ReelTok Podcast and you've never checked out Raiders of the Lost podcast, their links are going to be in the description. Go check them out. You absolutely should be listening to them on a weekly basis. But yeah, Anthony, thank you so much for hanging with me today, doing this Trivia 10 and kicking off season 2.
Appreciate it, pal. That was great. That was a challenging set of questions. I really enjoyed that. So great job putting all that together. That was impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, I have high hopes for season 2. Season 1 was almost like a guinea pig run where some people were like, this person's quiz was super easy. This one was super hard. I had to kind of get in my flow of getting trivia questions. But that's the thing about making trivia questions. You just never know what questions are going to be easy or hard to the person because people's brains are all different. Some people recently watched a film or some people recently were on Greg Fraser's IMDb and some people weren't. But yeah, again, thank you for being here, for kicking off the season. New episodes every Tuesday and Friday. This came out on a Tuesday. So this week on Friday, it'll be season 2, episode 2. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know how well you would have done on this trivia quiz. And with that, we will see you in the next one.
Take care.